my work it's not in response to what's going on to life. It's what I'm experiencing. So I'm not like in hindsight, the AIDS pandemic and awareness was happening. I'm a young artist and I have that fervor, and the work is corporal. It's about the body and the relationship to the body and death around me. And so that's there. And I can see that now. The lockdown drawings during the recent COVID pandemic, I don't have hindsight because that was still so close, but I can see that the work that was produced during that time, it's more, the work's more emotional. I'm a older person now, and I'm interested in more of not so much the physicality of the body, but it's a much more spiritual response. As a younger artist, I started with what I had, which was me, my body, and I'm responding to different aspects of it. And it's very, you can identify parts, and that's where I started. And I believe as I mature as an artist, I want to expand that language. And for me, the expansion, the language is a larger part of abstraction. And I find that within abstraction, it's a bigger landscape. There's more vista in it. And my physicality is always going to be in the drawings. It's just not such a literal translation anymore. I'm more interested in the spiritual or the unknown. I'm self-taught. I'm self-taught. I didn't go to college, and I taught myself by just looking. I went to some beekeepers and I loaded up my car with these bricks of wax. Wow. from the honeycombs. I brought it to the studio and I started experimenting with it, how to get different colors. And I don't use pigment, but I saw that by filtering the wax, you could achieve different tones. I wanted to be the craftsperson. I wanted to be the master of the material. I wanted to be in control and not have the material be in control. And the only way to do that is to really learn about it. All these years later, I still use the same materials that I started with. Graphite, the beeswax, the paper that I use, and even the sculptures are still the same materials, only I sort of add the wire to give it a structure. But all these materials are materials that I'm just very drawn to. They have a very strong energy. I like the energy between the materials. and how I can control them is something that still engages me. They're my tools to help me express what I want to make in the world. Energy is that mystical place in between. I always remember as a young child playing with magnets, and you had magnets, and you put them together and they attach to each other. And then if you flip the magnets around each other, you couldn't put them together no matter what. And it's that energy in between. I find it everywhere, and I'm always not startled, but I'm always mystified by it. And I think that it's magical in a way. And for me, art, that's the beautiful thing about art, that it is magical. I find any mark on the drawing has a meaning. It's part of the process, and it's not done on purpose. It just happens within the drawing. They're all considered. Every mark is considered. Nothing happens by accident, and yet accident is part of the process. I love all the different kinds of marks that you can make, and the paper that I use, I've treated in a way that the paper holds every mark, and so nothing is not considered. Nothing is as important as every mark on the drawing. As in the paper and its energy or spirit or what happens to it in its transformation, before even I start working on it, they're sculptural. They're definitely sculptural. They're heavy. They have like a luminosity to them that changes as light hits them, and how you walk around them to look at the drawings. The luminosity is really important, and that's definitely incorporated in getting the paper ready for the actual drawing on it. I pick things back up and I try them again. I don't ever throw a drawing away. If I'm stuck within a drawing, I put it away. And sometimes I'll pull it out years later and work on it. The drawings have a timeline within themselves. And I sometimes just need to give them, sometimes the drawing is almost ahead of me being able to see what's there. And I respect that. I've just learned to respect where I am with the artwork in a given time. I work on drawings for a long time. The early sculptures were really time and labor. They took a long time to make. They're all hand stitched and with wire and wrapped with gauze, and they take a long time, and I'm grateful that I've had the time to make the work. And I'm conscious of the fact that time is a gift, and I want to make the most gift.